In this matchup, I'm very curious to see if Mate's new identity can stand the test of time up against a squad like FUT, who are coming off the back of a loss. Most teams, you talk about momentum, and round to round, that is always going to be a highlight for FUT. But this squad going 0-1, they come back with a vengeance, and that's a scary thing. Zeus, the one to draw first blood. Mini is down, damage has been done. They look for a little bit more, tucked up close. It's going to be Yedege swinging into trade, leaving Prox down to 50. But the advantage already secured, not so firmly now, but with the flank taken down, it's only a sliver of HP, a single shot onto Prox, and it's 1-0 for FUT.
Good start. A good start to a map that Mates were phenomenal on the last time they played it. And I also want to sort of give a little bit more context to what I was talking about with the groups, because obviously in a normal group stage, you're talking about like maybe the top one skips something, top two, like you move in a different manner. In this case, it's actually a little bit different, because technically in the group stage, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, no one can go out. You just go further into that plane. So like if you finish first, you manage to skip quite far through. If you're right near the bottom, you're in a much more troublesome spot, and you have to play an extra couple of weeks, and you have to play even longer if you finish at the bottom of the board. So for FUT, if they don't win this series, getting towards the top of the group is actually going to be very, very difficult, because they'll already be 0-2.
Yeah, so not just coming back for vengeance, but with a purpose as well. FUT, they started this out with a win. Now they face the Eco Classics in the hands of the Gentlemates. But it's dangerous having to fight back into the site. A lot of nooks and crannies, these players to jam themselves into. Prox, the one to try to get the jump. You can see they're already cautious of it, but not worried enough. A big turn up for Prox. He's got 3 more to take down an ace with a classic, and he won't even get to the weapon without being tagged down to 8. Yeah, they get there in the end. Decent damage by Prox at least, but for FUT, 2 players lost. I think we hit sort of the minimum bar for the damage Mates needed to do.
Yeah, they'll at least manage to retrieve the additional rifle that they had, so though they've lost an SMG along the way, it's not the end of the world, but yeah, Prox definitely made that a little bit scarier, and I think he's been a good addition to this team to what we saw earlier in the week. Don't even know. Round 2. Yedege has got to be in a fantastic mood. He's always the hype man, but I don't know if I've seen him dancing after winning an Antica round.
I don't know if it was the shot through the smoke to start it or what, but it always feels good to see a Neon slide into your trips. FUT, a trap now. The 3 players wait in main, well, 2 wait in main. Sup went running in. The TV back from Zeus as he gets to safety, but the trades aren't looking too hot. They're not ready for Sociable! He's taken 3! Fighting from the shadows, the side not checked. They'd already killed 3 players. They thought there couldn't possibly be a 4th rat in the corner, but they're down to a 1v1, and Beepo is already tagged heavy.
Well, if he was dancing after the last round, if he can take this one home, he might just be breakdancing in the center of the stage. But for Yedege, it's going to be easier said than done. Doesn't know where the last man is, and Beepo will be that safe pair of hands. Definitely not a safe road to victory for Gentlemates with their first round onto the board. An incredibly costly round versus the bonus, and all of that came off of Sociable in the corner.
Again, they dealt with so much, and it's that bait, the wide swing that came out from Cristalli that made them think, okay, we've got the guy that was in the corner. It's clear. 3 players down.
No problem, guys.
Seemed like a bit of a problem.
It could definitely end up being a problem. Sociable 7-1 to start this. Probably the player you want to have their ultimate early, if any, at least on the side of Mates. That's a silver lining. Sup is playing a risky game hiding in that cage and has to give it up. Look at the pace of Mates. Mini's already trailblazed them through, and, well, Sup's got a battle on his hands. He's went into 2 with a shorty out. Ambitious, to say the least. That's a spike.
Spike down, B.
Oh, luckily for them, it's on the right side of the door. A maniac down on either side, it seems, but for now, I was going to say things are even, but that didn't last long. Trades back and forth. Convergence path thrown in. But are they going to be able to react off the back of it? Wary that maybe some of the players didn't hit and they weren't. But Zeus hits the shot anyway. His third of the round. Leaving just 2 remaining. Crystalli caught with utility. And then the trip catches another. That leaves Martin all online, but not a great place to use it. Needs to be another instant shot. But he doesn't realize that that player was just around the corner. Step heard, ready for the fight. And he will hit the headshot anyway. Only needed a single bullet to the chest. But Martin never does things the easy way.
It has definitely been a shaky 2 rounds for Mates. Left down to 1 player alive in both. But they've gotten it across the finish line. Maybe some moments like that from Sop helped out. But that there for Martin. Being able to take the first, catching Crystalli with the arrow out was the first mistake from FUT. And from there was no recovering. Mates 2-2. This could very well be a convincing start for FUT. Instead, that defense is left down to pistols. Mates come into this with a run it back online and not likely needing to use it. And we can even, well, they're going to use it, and the pressure comes towards the side of the map where there is only 1 player, and not for long. The only real danger is Martin when he goes back here, when the ult fades.
They're watching it.
They're protecting him.
Yeah, I think for Mates in this round, like you have the last couple where only a singular player survives. Sure, the run it back might seem like an overcommitment, but even if you lose a multitude of players again, that's a problem. Building up the economy holds a lot more value for them here and now. And it also means there's a chance for Martin to start building up those orbs again.
It's also not out of the question that they went for a crazy force buy, but more so that they have some dangerous weapons. And we can see, look, a lot of Sheriffs. If that was a stack on B, you'd certainly want to find out before your life is on the line. It's clean as can be for Gentlemates. An in-zone flawless against the low buy from FUT. And again, it's not the most impressive round we've ever seen. Of course they win it, but it's so important that they do it cleanly with how costly those first 2 rounds on the board were for them.
Yeah, it's fully worth investing the ultimate just to come out this clean and some solid utility on either side to make those kills nice and easy for Starzo, who now comes in with an ultimate of his own, the Hunter's Fury, available for their next round. Of course, versus Pacific, it was a 6-0 defensive side for Mates, so they can build into this attack half. I'm sure they'll be quite happy with it. Although I will say, odds are FUT are going to be better on the attack.
Well, FUT try to create some space for Sop. The smoke on top mid, send him back towards the door, but now he stands ready and waiting. Up close on top mid. Mini, is he about to make a play? They're waiting for this. FUT are sat back after the trip was broken in the market. They still have 2 players top mid. Mates knowing that they've pulled that rotation over, but not ready perhaps for this many players to still be in position now. This rotate pulls numbers towards the A site. They're ready to defend this with their lives, and it's down to a 3v2. Rotate in from Zeus to lock off that site push. And Starzo doesn't really have much safe space to get this plant. They could try to go for it. And I would imagine even in the corner, this is a little open. Vulnerable to the spam, but they'll get away with it.
I like the dart as well. Meant that nobody wanted to take the risk. Looking like they're going to try and fight towards Zeus. If they can clear and this becomes a whole lot easier, but it's always easier said than done. Nice shot from Vipo. And now he'll know where both the remaining players are, but they know where he is as well. Hoping to try and clear one of them, but Yedajay just takes the 1v1 instead. It will be a 3rd round onto the board for FUT. And Yedajay's up on his feet again. What's going to him today? He seems so excited to be here.
I don't know if he's got extra energy from the sunshine or what it is, but he is certainly looking like he's having a good day. Even in such a tight game, it's a big round for FUT to get onto the board. Good reactions on the defensive side. What's that?
I know what it is. So last week, he was made to play only controllers. Or not last week, this week. It's screwing my head, there's more than 1 game a week. He was made to play Viper and Omen.
Yeah.
He's back on Senti.
And he's having a good time.
It's a good day to be alive.
He's changed up his trips as well. This time it's reinforcing the A site. This has all been about market and B main control for Yedege so far. Now looks to block them as they come in towards A short, a kill trip. And Zeus there to bait them in. Trying to force the fight, but the trap a little further back. Hasn't been detected just yet. Okay, so the lurk around won't really be profitable for Beepo, and if he steps too far forward, he'll be taken down, but no longer as Yedege falls to the Hunter's Fury. Still, the man advantage there for the side of FUT. They've broken a trip in B main, and now for mates, they know there's no way back. Their flank is under threat with an Omen still alive. They could have already bypassed it. The only thing to do is to take the site, but they need a safe haven to fight from. A look towards the spawn. Beepo baited in by the steps of Sociable. Didn't know that he had backup, and Starzo's got to do it alone. He knows there's two players on short, and the paranoia's landed perfectly. Still, the arrow not catching gave a chance, but Sop removed that instantly.
Yeah, it felt like an almost identical round in terms of how that played out with the 2 versus 3 and the attempted aggression failing miserably for mates in that moment. And just FUT get into these positions so quickly, like swarming back around to this side of the map, even with the Hunter's Fury there, Sop's operator in hand, and he's had a very quiet start to this game. Quiet in terms of kills, not in terms of how he's been playing. He's been very aggressive. We saw him try and fight a whole team with the shorty. But if he starts building into this defensive side, definitely becomes scarier for the mates.
Well, last 2 rounds, we've seen great reactions, like I was saying, from FUT. The rotations out of Sop, moving from mid to B, but them still having 2 ready there. The retreat from Sociable and the immediate pounce from Zeus to help out retreating Sociable. Now we see aggression, and it's Sociable gone down on mid, positioned to strike from an angle they are not expecting. They're droning in a vulnerable spot. They're TPing and giving him freebies, but now the pressure can be applied, but Starzo's got his back to him! Where did he think he'd gone? Big mistakes as Martine falls, and FUT thrive in this round. The snake in the grass, a surprise to start, but the second and third, they should have known, and they should have known better. Beepo has to take down 4, and to say they're defending the spike is to put it lightly.
I like this round from FUT. Not just the sociable push, but I agree with you. They weren't looking at him, but they threw, I think it was 2 ults at them at once. So I think Starzo was just in a full panic.
Yeah.
Like you had the convergence path and a Hunter's Fury. So he's kind of like, they're definitely coming from here. Maybe the guy behind's a little bit later, but it's sociable. He's never going to be a little bit later. He's on you like a rash. But yeah, nasty stuff. And it is interesting that FUT are one of the teams that walk it all the way to the Masters. Other than that, FUT have always been the masters of chaos and something that they have struggled against. We'll see if that is going to be the case after the pause. Of course, the problem for mates is they don't really have much to play with. So now this Outlaw becomes like a 2-shot operator, although a slightly worse second shot now.
Good stun, Zeus gifted Mini at the start of this round. Beepo falling. Now Sop's in trouble, you would think. The ult comes out, Prox gets 2, and the round's cleaned up moments later for FUT. Again, every time mates go for this push, there are numbers there to respond. And although Sop might not be having the best of games, a 6-3 scoreline's nothing to turn your nose at.
No, for sure, and luckily, first you've had Sociable making big plays, but also Zeus. I think he's so good at using that stun to put himself into favorable fights. I think he's one of the best, or most enjoyable, at least, to watch that Waylay. For now, though, I think a lot of what's going to be coming up is how are the mates actually going to react to this? How are they going to respond to this aggressive FUT play? So why don't we just listen in and see what they're going to do?
Let's go. Go flash.
3, 2, go.
Get passive sniper, guys. You wanna chill, freeze now, freeze. Freeze everyone.
Ready.
Sova top mid.
Smoke top mid.
Yeah.
Smoke top mid and we pop elbow with drone.
Yeah, blow.
And Phoenix
I have 1
ult.
smoke, very 1 at CT.
I'm gonna drone here and you pop it right set. Now just smoke city for yourself.
Smoke city, yeah.
Just do it whenever you're ready, guys.
Double ult from here.
3, 2.
Ready? Ulting now. 3, 2, go. Smoke CT. Pushing close.
Omen. He's ready to fight.
Apparna bit up
Go left, Martin, go left. City dead.
Too short, fading short.
That side.
Too short.
Bomber.
Bingo short.
I have 10 HP, guys.
Chill.
I'm Joker. Wait, don't play.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
They're still both short.
Peeking,
People
peeking.
them. Up. 10 HP now.
And Omen, he was short.
Could be city then maybe.
I'm planting Jen. Go plant, okay? Can you jump spot after?
I have CT.
He's on top of the box.
Nice flank, guys. Shot flank.
Okay, I have CT.
10 HP then on.
Shadows traveling.
Omen could go elbow.
Yeah, I'll take your elbow.
He has elbow, he has elbow. He jumped short, summon.
Okay.
Play
Have
double
cross,
metal, wait for
have
another.
cross with me. Have cross with me. Being short. Try to spot short. I'm holding elbow. He's baiting. He's baiting. I have elbow.
Last player standing.
20. Guys, but please focus on the bot lane, guys, okay? Like, we're playing like shit for no
I need
reason.
more comms, guys. Like, we're not talking.
He was on the box,
no,
he
we're
was on the box.
Well,
Not sounding great, is it?
it's not a good outlook to close out that round. And you can understand the frustration. 4
2v,
versus
yeah.
2, flank coming in. And the call there seems strange. They call, I believe, not to go for the plant. That momentary freeze, it made Sop think something's going on. And then he catches the flank.
Well,
And that's where it starts to fall apart. Reposition from Sociable is perfect, and they just realize it too late.
I think the other thing as well, it's just like, rather than it being a freeze, I don't know what's gone on today with FUT, but I'm enjoying it. But yeah, it seemed like rather than them doing something together, it was a freeze where 1 or 2 players peeked out and tried to fight an operator. Like this is, even in that 2v2 at the end, Prox is fighting into Sop. That's the last thing you want to be doing when he has an op in hand. So yeah, seems like more mistakes on their end, and you make mistakes, give opportunities to FUT. They're going to take them with open arms, looking to try and surround, or at least fake, the idea that they're surrounding the players on this B site. Instead, though, they're going back in the other direction, and well, a nice hold from Beepo will deny Crostali's aggression.
Yeah, you know, it's Crostali feeling like he'd missed the boat. He wanted to then make something of that position, go for the flank. Zeus, that's the spike, stopped, but the flash was perfect. Zeus is going to have to come up in a big way, and he's caught the flank. At least he's detected it, suspected it, and dealt death to Beepo. That was a fake dash. It sounded like maybe he went towards the elbow instead. Coming back to fight on short where Sop has already claimed another, and Zeus has seen one go into the corner. They've got the info, both on site. It certainly wasn't the planter walking moments ago. Prox will be dealt with. Zeus is having a heater with Martine. Stunned in that corner, spotted by the cam, pinged up. He doesn't stand a chance. 2 to take down, and they leave it to Zeus. Classic in hand for a 4K.
Be right back.
And if things felt bad for mates last round, I think they just got a little bit worse. Looks like we could be heading out of this half 9-3.
Oh, Zeus has been incredible, like genuinely incredible throughout this map so far. And firstly, just his positioning, like holding on to the back line, but also just every shot that he's firing is as crispy as ever. But since London, it seems like this man has just been in the AIM Labs dungeon. Just getting him ready for this matchup. 16-8. Sociable, even with his crazy aggressive plays, hasn't been able to keep up with his superstar duelist just yet. And from what was a 3-2 scoreline, they have won 6 rounds in a row.
To be honest, they were acting like they were miles in the lead, even at 3-3. We saw them on their feet. There's been no need for a mood change on FUT so far. This time, a more direct take at the B site. Mates start out with the opening kill, a second as well. Still Yedege to deal with, and he's proving difficult to root from position. The shorty lands at least one more. But Crostali, well, he could put it down to a 1v2 here. The cage will, unfortunately, allow Beepo out. Or maybe fortunately, if you're a Mates fan. Crostali, it should be impossible from this point. The fact they don't even need to look at their flank with a trip there. 3 players on this kind of angle. Hell, they could even smoke it and just spam you down.
There should be absolutely no way for him to get out of this scenario alive. Well, unless he can get this one to half. That's a nice shot. They do have to be a little bit careful. Another one of those, and maybe he can turn it, but that time should tick low enough that he doesn't stand a chance. And it always seems like there's an opportunity with the FUT players on the stage, but this time they were denied. An 8-4 half, 6 rounds in a row on that defense for FUT. And heading into the attack, I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous for Mates.
Nervous for mates indeed, but excited, not even for the next half, but for the halftime break, because you know we got Petra in the house and we just had to see her back in the server. So check out this cheeky little skirmish between her and Minnie. And that's how Minnie is going to bounce right back to the top of the scoreboard. I'm not even talking on his team, I mean on the server.
You are
Watch
a
this.
bit like someone in Peter Pan, you know, Tinkerbell, about the same size. Anyway, into the pistol round.
It's quite rude.
You got a green outfit as well. Anyway, Starzo has managed to find that opener. A good start. Maybe this is the comeback. Minnie hasn't had to do too much just yet, so there you go. He's at least found himself one. And there is the pistol round under mate's belt. It is a quick one, no plant as well. It's not bad.
Solid work for mates, and it is a much-needed pistol round if they're going to make this competitive. Main thing for FUT is, and as we talked about, momentum is difficult to take out of their possession.
One enemy.
And they very much had it in that first half from round 6 onwards. It was lights out from this squad. But now mates, they win the last round of the half. They take the pistol here, and there is still some hope. Let's not forget, for this squad, it could have looked a lot worse. In the first 4 rounds, the 2 of them they won were in 1v1s. It was a tight margin that even gave them a chance, but now they got to make the most of that opportunity. Going back in up against the Eco, always risky, and it has cost Minnie his life, but see, here's the thing about Minnie. He doesn't care if he's getting kills because he's getting traded. He's getting round wins on the board, and that's more important than KD. Great round for Minnie.
Has he paid you off?
What? I'm a fan of good gameplay, mate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, getting 1 kill versus classics is a great round.
He didn't get a kill. He just died.
He did, didn't he? I thought he got the first one.
No, he was the first one to die.
Oh.
They just traded him, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Oh, no, wait, he's 6. Oh, maybe he did. Oh, even better! I thought he got
he
nothing.
got one in the pistol. Yeah, no, I don't think
it was nothing last round. Yeah, he didn't get a kill.
No, thanks, Jack.
I was believing you for a second there. I wanted to believe Tom.
Yeah.
I could feel myself flying
It's
for
all
a
right.
moment.
I believe he's going to step up into this game.
Good. I've convinced
Minnie
you.
never has, well, no, based off facts
Based
of
off
his last
arguments
game.
that
You
I've
know,
made.
his first map was rough. The next 2 he was great. Been shut down immediately in this one, though.
Oh, that was unlucky, though.
Yeah.
That was really unlucky if you think about it.
Bonus rounds looking pretty good for FUT. Martin's alive, though. He's also got his ultimate online, which he's probably not going to use.
If they get a kill here, he does. But now they're split up as well. I don't even think they're going to go for it now.
If he used his ult
Starzo's-
from this point, they may genuinely run out of time before they get to the field.
Last player standing.
And they won't get a kill either. Martin's stuck in the spawn. He's certainly not fighting for orbs. Perhaps fighting to keep the economy a bit more modest on the side of FUT. And
Or for KD. Everyone cares about KD.
we just had that discussion, Tom. Minnie doesn't. It's about a lot more than that.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening. I do that a lot. Zone out sometimes.
Martin might not have been listening to the save call, and he's given himself away. Luckily, it is a genuine concern for FUT. Look at their economy, 500 credits, the most that anybody's got. So keeping 4 players alive here, kind of worthwhile for that attack side, just to give them that extra safety net of a round to buy in. Yeah, look, I mean, they were staring at him the whole time. No way he could have gotten anything from there. That's tough.
Well, redemption still being sought after. But only 3 rounds behind. This is the purchase coming in now for Gentlemates. Run it back online. Prox has been having a great map thus far. And obviously, I feel like seeing him at EWC makes it easy to forget that this is only his 2nd match back with the mates. You can see why they opted to bring him back. Either way, FUT already getting full control of middle. It gives them a lot of ground to challenge for. It also forces the defense to have players towards top mid. Be careful of
Joke's over.
that market area. And in fact, so much so, they're going to try and ult into mid with the run it back. Damage has been done, but can Martin get a kill? No.
It looks like FUT might siphon back into this setup for Mates, though. So often the traps have been in these positions, and they've been broken right off rip by FUT. This time, Mates pull them back. Beepo wants to have kill trips, catch them as they get into the site. The rotation here, huge as well from the defensive side. 3 players waiting just outside B. They have to be concerned about the mid-fight, about the market cross. They'll at least have 2 in position by the time push comes to shove. First trip's already been destroyed. The second is for the jump up. Zeus goes down, but it's a slide around from Sup that's completely erased this setup. The shock dart's deadly to some, but that damage won't be dealt where it's needed. FUT 4 versus 3.
Yeah, the first one was just a little bit too deep, but a couple of low HP players definitely makes it interesting. The run through from Sociable is manic. Prox had no idea that he would come through the other side.
Enemy remaining.
And it leaves just 1. And it's going to be Sociable taking over. He was 32 HP as he started each of those fights, and he took no further damage. The IGL taking the top of the board.
It's like a Gears mission. You know, you see Sociable and Sup go in 2 different directions from main, but they meet back up. That push looks insane. It looks like he's a madman, but he did it because Sup was coming through mid. Sup was there to strike if Sociable fell, but, well, that backup was not needed yet again. They met back up to a field of bot.
We have seen FUT go 8-2, and that's versus some of the top opposition in the world.
Track them down.
Yeah, so signs of a bounce back. On map 2, a reverse sweep, not looking too great.
To be fair, Mates are also pretty good at that map at the moment. They beat NRG, beat Nongshim, beat XOG. Good
But
teams.
it does depend how this one closes. If FUT can run away with this. Talked about momentum already and how important it is for this squad. We've seen in that first half it play out for Mates. Slowing down FUT becomes the mission. 4-round gap between them. A great start by Starzo. That flash has gotten Martine back through for 2. And they're keeping this even, doing damage to Crystallion, almost taking him down. That could be the difference maker.
He had Spike.
Oh, Beepo.
They've
A
both been
chance
spotted
there
now.
as well. These players could already be in the ground. But it does give Mates the read.
Yeah, same for FUT though. Like FUT have now seen both players. They saw Mini over on the other side of the map on B, and then they saw Beepo. That's why they immediately hightail it to this side. But Mini is ahead, and he's immediately going to take out Crystalli, the lower HP player. Yedajay's looking to try and play aggressively though. It's a little awkward. Okay, there's Mini. Making it work with the Marshall. A headshot to close the round. And after the pause, Mates return with a weak buy.
I didn't see the HP at the end there because he was 150 going into that fight. He had full shields. And I don't know, was he? I don't think he was tagged. Oh no, an assist came up.
Yeah, assist came up.
So it could have been the tag. I don't think it was utility that gave that. Because I was just thinking, did it need to be the headshot? Either way, he delivered it.
Style points.
It wouldn't have mattered. Dead to rights as soon as the swing came in. That's a big round for Mates. Honestly, I was thinking they have to win the next one. And FUT would have a chance with just 1 mistake to lock in overtime, but they get this started even earlier than expected. Good molly, too. That's going to buy a lot of time.
Again, mid-control has completely gone the way of the attack. This is something they've been able to battle for throughout. Zeus taking a hell of a lot of space. Now, bear in mind, it was being watched by Martine. That was his sort of chance to strike, and now he's been lost. Sociable went back for a further battle with the superstar duelist on Mates, and he's won it once again. They ice out firmly under the control. Now, they're going to try and put the pressure onto Yedajay, but he will be able to see by the time they're there. Mini deals with him anyway, though.
Sociable's being checked, but he wins the skill check. Mates, 1 man down on the retake. Every position accounted for, barring Starzo. This Prox. Oh, it's a good spray. It's given hope to Starzo, a chance, and he dodges the ult as well. Here just in time. Low HP on the first, but Zeus straight to the head. It's 11-7. FUT with a chance to close this out with just 2 more rounds.
I'm sure I said this initially when Zeus first joined this team, that it felt like the lower his HP got, the highest his headshot percentage got. And I feel like the more he's come back into form, the more it's felt that way. It's like the lower the health is, it's like the higher the chance. He's just going to dome you the second you come around the corner. He's having an unbelievable performance. And that's always the case with FUT. It's like, yeah, sure, Sop is not at his best game. Yedajay's been okay. But if you have 2 of those 5, that could be enough to beat anyone. And right now, you've got both Zeus and Sociable on a tear.
Oh, for mates. Early info towards the A site, and then the rotate around. It looks like they're searching for a fight on middle. Everybody's here, but nobody's home as far as they're concerned. That is the spike in elbow. They have a chance here to drop the most valuable piece of the puzzle for the attacking side. Cristalli has to stay alive, and of course, this is the moment he hits his shots, gets out, plants on the A site, and all the while, Yedajay's been filling in the blanks. Just damage done to Martin, but it's enough with Starzo falling. It feels like everywhere they step, there's a landmine. Mates have only Martin left to save.
I feel like it is that, literally, he can't keep getting away with that. Like, just Sociable is every time they're like, and there's no way he would be around this corner, and just insta-headshot someone. Well, the chance of the low by success has hit 0. Martin is hoping to hold on to his gun, but I'm just looking at the way Sop is playing, and yep, I just knew. I knew he was going to hit that shot. And in-zone flawless for FUT. 5 rounds in the lead now. There was a point in this game where mates were 3-2 up, and I thought they were about to hit a streak of rounds. Instead, FUT have looked controlled on their opponent's map choice as well, on a map that we really haven't seen too much from FUT at all. It might make a few teams shy away from picking it into them again.
Yeah, it's quite possible. I'm not sure Sociable's going to play like this every time we're on this map.
Yeah, but then maybe Sop will.
That's
maybe
exactly.
Will,
that's exactly my thought. He doesn't need to every time. Well, the clock starts ticking, and Mini's already pushing. He might have been spotted on the crossover there. I don't see any pings.
He played against Petra, and now he's gone to Petra. She taught him everything. Oh, they're going the other way. Never mind.
No.
Never mind. Petra, what do you do if they don't walk past Petra? That's the question I want to know when we go back to the escalator. Like, what do you do now?
This whole round was off the back of this as well. We saw mates in the previous look to fight middle. They pushed down, they took control. This time, they take a little bit of control, but don't finish the push. Instead, wait to spring the trap, and FUT, they step the other way for a moment.
Oh,
all 5.
It's back on! No, they're going spawn.
Step the other way. Hold on. Are they all going spawn? Even one of you want to go to middle? Take a little look, take a peek? No. And I think that's because
But if they run near the B site, then he'll hear them while in, but also his whole team's on A.
This is about as poorly as it can go when you use the spot on this map called Petra. That's rough. Oh, hold on.
Is it back on?
Okay, we've got one going mid. Yedajay stepping into the Viper's pit, and look at Mini go! He's taken Yedajay down. A sensational position. And perhaps, genuinely, a chance for mates.
Oh, okay. Zeus was a little bit further forward than they expected. Prox has done well. Spike not planted. And they have to get on it now if there's going to be any chance. Sociable, he's run out of time. And Prox again. It might have been Petra's spot that started it off, but it's a different P in Prox. They'll be the one to close the round.
Oh, they stressed me out there. You see Martin running out on the Phoenix ult. And nobody backing him up.
Yeah, you know, every angle. Let's get every single angle. Wait, there must have been at least 4 more angles we could have got that from.
And this looked like a bit of a mistake from mates, not taking full advantage of that Phoenix ult, not trading out the player that can go down. But then Prox came through.
Oh, yeah, this was just a sloppy round.
Yeah, sloppy.
It was just a sloppy round.
Sloppy round, you got to give it to Prox, though. It was his round. He's now sat there neck and neck with Sociable.
Worried about what mates are doing, and more worried about what they are doing instead.
There it is. There it is.
Where's the graffiti? That's all I'm going to say.
4 rounds in a row for Gentle Mates, and it starts out with aggression. They're pushing towards the spike. A lone man, Sociable, now has backup. Zeus has come to his aid as the smoke fades. Here's the swing, and Sociable goes down. So too does Zeus. A beautiful paranoia delivered by Prox.
Right here.
And although that might not be the kill, it should be good enough. Sop down to 35. That sliding neon will be easier to hit. Now I meant Sop, but Mini goes down before.
Always a dangerous player to leave
I know
alive.
exactly where you are.
And well, playing this nice and safe. All 4 players able to get into position. Dare I say it, from this spot, it almost feels unlosable, and I think that's why FUT, the remaining 2 players, might just opt to try and reset this one, because fighting into 4 players that know you're there is going to be tough. There's 2 lined up, ready and raring to go, and it's perfectly played by Starzo and Martin. 12-9, 3 rounds the difference now, and it seems like they might not be out of this just yet.
Yeah, after the timeout, no success. This push towards A main coming out of Mates, definitely not expected. I'm not surprised. So much of their round has been about taking that mid space, fighting for it heads up, or setting traps. And this time, they throw a curveball in. And before the flash even leaves Phoenix's hands, the round is pretty much theirs. Bump in the road for FUT. 12-9, still a timeout to use. That might come in if they lose this round.
And they've still got an investment, but there's definitely a piece or 2 missing. Yetajay with a Sheriff is not always that much of a detriment, but I think they're willing to risk this because of the ults they have in tow, but their opponents have exactly the same ults, and they're taking the same space as the prior round.
Cover going out.
Well, the spike won't be left defenseless this time. Instead, FUT look to take that mid control again, this time together. Rotations being heard. Drone going through. Paranoia, it only catches 1, but it forces the peek out of Beepo. He's now down and out, and FUT are making ground towards this B site. The plant will be found. Sociable spotted, but he still found 1. Almost the second with Martin left on 30. Looks like it's still going to be FUT's round. But Martin will get back up to at least a decent amount of health, maybe even full. Oh, 87. Oh, there it is, up to 100. Back to fighting form at least.
Paranoia to clear. Zeus being spammed out, but even still, while low, he finds another. Hunter's Fury. Send back at least keeps Martin alive. The Sheriff is also connected onto Prox. So now 1 player is healthy, the other is walking wounded once again. And you know the Yetajay is going to be taking first contact. He might be the only contact needed. That Sheriff has done immeasurable damage. And while the shock dart should close things out, no, he'll live an extra second or 2. It's Yetajay's Sheriff that will close out the round and give FUT their opponent's map choice.
A 13-9.
By far their best map. And I expect them to act as such. And I think starting out as well on the attack side, this is their favored side of their favored map. It leaves Mates with a lot to be desired going into this one.
That it does. Well, the barriers are up, and away they go with FUT already taking space towards short and long. Mates look to fight one of those. It's short for Prox where he's tucked in, but he's given away his position. The Paranoia has caught him as well. Sociable and Zeus both deliver, and Sup's there to clean up backside. Mates, full control. And a 2 versus 4. For Starzo and Martin. Martin even looks to get a bit ahead of the action. He's already looking for a fight on site. Of course, they just planted, so he wants to catch them as they get into different positions. But he doesn't want to overextend and get caught off before his buddy's ready to fight. Flash sent out. But they didn't go on the back of it. Now they're going to have to do it dry. And, well, looking the wrong way is certainly not the way to do it. Sup. With a 3-piece pickup, it's 1-0 for FUT.
Let's blow them over.
Yeah, great start from them. I think as well, even though they dive straight past a person, I do think, I will say, there are very few players I have enjoyed watching on Waylay. I think most EMEA Waylays have kind of sucked. Like, I think people have attempted to do things, realize it doesn't work, and then just go back to a Neon or a Jet or whatever they played before. Zeus is one of the few exceptions. I think the way he takes space is fantastic. I think the way he uses his stuns is fantastic, but also he dives in, gets a kill, and his teammates just get to trade out the guy that was trying to react to the stuff he's doing. He's so irritating to play against. And I think on this map in particular, when you're trying to react to so much going on across the map, if this guy's able to take space and then disappear back out of there again, you have to be so aware of everything that's going on. Do you want my silver lining, though?
Okay, I'd love to hear it.
The last team to beat FUT on this map
was
Gentlemates.
Oh, when was that?
That was in the EWC qualifiers.
Okay, well, yeah, okay, recently enough. It's not looking like they'll beat them here in the eco.
No.
Enemy remaining.
That's fine. That's expected. You would like a kill or two, but even that would only drop the pistols. Yedege and Sociable playing this round economically. And that does make it almost an impossibility for good old Beepo to do essentially anything. Main thing is you don't want to be getting taken down by Zeus or by Sop. Probably Yedege is the boy you want to fight, and you can see he's not keen on fighting. He's running away saying, nah, one of you guys take the orb, and they will. An in-zone flawless for FUT. Some good work towards those ultimates early on. Won't be on for the first full buy of mates, though. That's at least a silver lining for them.
Yeah, the worry, though, is that because you dropped nobody, that those pistols are now going to turn into rifles. So the odds are you got 4 rifles, and then you're going to have that Marshall that was saved over. So it makes this quite a deadly bonus round coming up for the side of FUT. And I think for mates on the defense, I think this is the case for both teams on the defense. They definitely favor the attack, but you want to see them get going early because their attack side, at least when they played versus FUT themselves, was very, very good. So it's about getting enough rounds to take that next half over the line, and it's not a great start. Not a great start. Okay, that's not bad.
A spark of hope comes out of Mini's kills, but, well, the trade just puts weapons back in the hands of FUT. They now have 3 rifles still, and a much less heavily defended B and C site. The thing is, for mates, they can afford to play this one together. The trip that they have on B, the camera deep on C. The only real gap is the walkthrough on Garage, so spotting that every so often on the cam will give them the info eventually, and they go pushing up to try to fill in that flank early. It all depends on FUT's timing. But see, the thing is, now they've been seen by the camp, they are just going to sprint.
Yeah, I think that's the moment where you either realize that there's one player here or no players here, and I think they'll very quickly realize that there's none. Flank coming in fast, though. That's the element of surprise, but the longer this takes for them to make their move, the more aware FUT are going to be of those gaps being filled in. A trip being broke's more of a bait, though. It is trying to make them think that there's a player coming in from behind, whereas, in fact, all 3 players are in from the Garage. The swing from Yedege, a little bit risky, but the player up above made things awkward. Sociable, evening things up once again. And now the drone's going to fill in the gaps. Nice shot from Beepo, though. It's left all onto Crystalli. Tag low already. There shouldn't be much of a chance. It looked for a moment like he had an opportunity to get both, but it won't be the case. Mates are on the board.
I think Starzo jumped in and soaked some of the shots up for Beepo.
Almost soaked too many up.
Yeah, it was a bit close, but luckily Beepo's shots went straight through him. Back in the other direction. But it was Mini giving them a chance with that double. Yeah, it felt like the numbers on FUT would be enough with what we saw in that first map.
Nice, let's go.
But that's just the first challenge passed. There is another obstacle in front of Gentlemates. Another full buy coming out of FUT. 1 orb away from Zeus having the convergence path. And I don't think they're going to go for orbs. This looks like a very direct play straight into Garage. The stun is heard. The noise towards A long. FUT realize that a play is coming in, and if they are going to split C, they're going to go even faster now.
But this is, again, the value of being able to refract back out of there. Zeus just walked into Garage. He's like, if there's anyone there, I'll just disappear. And so they've got this C site for free. It's going to be a full-on retake necessary. But that does also mean that the mates have held on to a lot of their own utility. They still have flashes on Martine. They still have the wall that can go up from Neon. and the paranoia. So they've got a lot to play with here. They are being flanked, though. They're being flanked twice.
Yeah, just excellent timing from Sociable. He heard them running away from Garage, running up through mid, convergence path lands, Sociable on the big wraparound, and he's got them tucked in the corner. Dead to rights, you'd think, but Sociable falls. The flank heard of Yedajay, but he strikes just in time before they can react, before anything can be done to stop FUT from pushing up to 3.
That's how you perfectly flank. Like, what you might watch from that moment of Sociable is just go, oh, he played that quite aggressively after he knew he was there. It's because he's selling that second flank. Because why would you expect there to be another guy? He's like, yeah, I'm just going to run at you. And they're like, oh, he made a mistake. Now we retake. Everyone turns their back to Yedajay, and he has 2 of the freest kills of his life. That is beautifully played by Sociable. It would have been nice if he got the kills, of course, if he just kills them. But instead, he sets up that very loud man to clean up the rest of the round. 3-1 for FUT. The buy coming up for Mates. Wow. To say it absolutely stinks would be an understatement.
I'll try to make up for that with 4 players towards Garage. Paranoia from Prox ready. This is just an anti-B take. They can pounce on Garage play, they can pounce on B play, but FUT are clumped together. They're not looking to give any individuals opportunities, any surprise plays by Mates a chance. Now, I assume they're going to go back, and that's why Yedajay is keeping the space, because they've already shown quite a lot towards the A site, and that's gotten the full rotation from Mates with 5 players on A. And this is not the first time we've seen FUT do this. A little bit of pressure, an immediate retreat, and a much easier take on the other side of the map if they're quick, but they're going very slowly.
Yeah, although those steps might be heard. Did they slow in time? Yedajay is about to find out. There's the 2, and now they go into the B site. Overdrive activated. In fact, run it back as well. They're trying to get in as quickly as possible, but they are obliterated. And while Martin, even while fading back into existence, he's done incredibly well. 2 quick kills. Ace needed. He's not going to check the cross, though. Too many angles, too little time. And while Sociable will close the round, a nice attempt from Martin. But you also then have to consider that they threw 2 ultimates into that round. Luckily, with Martin's kills, he's halfway back to the run it back again, but it's still costly.
Sociable has been a silent assassin as well. This guy...
He's not been that silent.
The fact is, though...
It might be less and less likely unless we can see some impact from the coaching staff.
Yeah, indeed. For Mates, this has become a bit of a bleak reality. We expect Haven to be solid for FUT, and early signs pointing to that dominant outcome we feared. Nice early fight for Mini. He'll even get out, and Martin goes back in off the back of his own flash. It's a freebie. TP taken, spotted, and dealt with by Mini. And this is the result that Mates have been searching for. A 2 versus 5. If they let this one slip, I expect a pause immediately.
Yeah, I also think that seeing the trip, yeah, it's all the ruse. I like the switch up. Really nice stuff from Mates in this round. And in-zone flawless after the pause. That is as good as it can go. But you could even see at the end of the round, like, sure, you've had that contact play. I love the 1-2 punch of operator into flash into swing. It's just perfect. Even if it blinds Mini, it really doesn't matter because the goal is to catch the other player. But then because they've been leaving gaps of just putting a trip, putting a cam, they then just sit Prox in an off angle. So they're going, oh, there's a trip here, there's a cam. We don't need to clear anything on our way in, and perfectly positioned to end out the round. Nice round from Mates, but is it a one and done?
Well, it very much can't be. It's not just the road back into this map, but into this series. Yeah. A win here would put FUT down to a low buy, would give a chance to level the playing field, get rid of that early advantage. A very different approach from this attack side, though. Spreading out into a default, waiting for a push from the defense. And we haven't really seen this so far. There's always been a group of players looking for control. There's always been a fight being offered up. And it's only around the minute mark that we actually see them even search for a battle. And even then, it's probably not the fight that you want to take. if you're running into Sop's operator.
It feels like the defense are quite happy to play retake in this round. Martin one off a run it back, but more importantly, the Hunter's Fury available. The FUT are just playing patient, and well, the run it back is online, but not for this round.
And they got curious, not knowing the danger that was lurking around the corner. Mini in the same boat, but it could be a freebie handed to him. The shot doesn't land. The numbers stay in favor of FUT. Starzo's going to try to cross into a nasty corner, but Zeus appears out of thin air, materializes for the pick. It takes that backside control, allowing the plant to come through. 5v3 now. Mates need a pick. They need a way back in, and Mini tried to create it. But now he's laying on the floor, spectating the rest of the squad as a save is called.
Yeah, luckily for them, the end zone flawless will give them another buy, but keeping those weapons holds a lot more value. But it's just a nice round from FUT. Incredibly patient. It's not something you normally talk about with FUT. We talk about aggression and flair and fire, but this was all just about, okay, eventually one of those duelists has to peak. They don't have enough information gathering. They even used an ult to get them just enough over on the other side in the form of the From the Shadows from Omen. And so once they start spotting that, they just wait it out. And now Zeus looking to finish the job he started. Maybe doesn't even realize how right he is. He will close out every single member in the end. A third for him. But again, it's just another display of why I love his Wayland. Because he's happy to commit because he knows either Starzo turns to me and he's dead, or he doesn't and he's dead.
My ult's ready.
You'd think at least the trade would be found most of the time, but Zeus was so quick getting through that angle. And even still, Starzo did look at him on the way through. He did take a peek.
Yeah.
Pulled his crosshair off the angle.
He made a choice. Like, I don't blame Starzo because you go like, I've got to go for someone.
Look at the TP taken by Sociable. He's already up on the door. Martin thought he got one and got out scot-free. He thought he just had to dodge the spams. But instead, Sociable was the problem. Mates solved that problem with ease now, though. Prox and Mini have done well.
I love
4 versus 2.
They go from patience to just all-out aggression in the next round. Like, look at the spot in which Sociable died. He was peeking a player from the left link of B. Even still, post-plant is available. Now, there's a Hunter's Fury. But unless they're very worried about how this round could go, I don't think it's going to be used. Nice shot from Yedeje. This gets dangerous now. A chance for Sop, but he's going to get both! In a 2v4 again! Sop will pull off the Red Bull clutch. He had a slightly quieter first map, but dear has he woken up.
Blades of Fury from Sop. That is insane. The ult popped when it was a 2v2. Before the blades came out, he was all alone. And moments later, he was all alone. Bodies all around him. A timeout from Mates immediately. It's panic stations on the defense. This is their second timeout. No, I imagine he is calm and relaxed. Doesn't need to go to his happy place.
Where would his happy place be? It's not any of his previous teams. This is his happiest place. Let's be real. FUT is the happiest place Bambino has ever been.
If I had to guess off statistics, I'd say anywhere with a fruit platter, but
that's
I have
fair.
no way
That's
to prove
fair.
that. 6-2. Round number 9. After a pause, Mates are coming in with pistols across the board, barring Martin, the rifle, and the run it back. Likely to see that ult used in the next. But if they get a chance, there's no ruling it out. FUT pushing into the A site. There's numbers here for Mates. And the rifle, it comes rushing in to see nobody. And now the flash out. A Sociable hides in the corner.
I like the
He
Hunter's
can't
Fury.
get away with this again. In fact, a taste of his own medicine perhaps. He sneaks his way up. They were watching for it. But Starzo, he got taken down. It seemed like he was ready. I don't know if he heard a step or what, but certainly heard the gunshots ring out. Guess
Don't
who?
you dare.
It's
Don't you
Sociable.
dare.
Finally.
Everyone hide.
Gonna be punished
Why?
for his needless and endless aggression.
It was so unnecessary. You got it back into a 3v3. Why would you walk the smoke? That's your IGL. A genuine lunatic. I'd say genuinely 70% of the time he gets that correct, but versus pistols is crazy. A fantastic Hunter's Fury. The disruption caused by Starzo and the damage has made this round competitive. Martine versus Cristal. Look at the position of Yetege as well. You wouldn't think this was a C-site plug. Oh, it's a half check. Martine had the right idea. And now for Prox, well, you're basically chasing smoke. Like, one player towards long, and the other player is basically still on B. He's just coming in for the flank towards the end. He has to be diffusing this now, and well, the realization's there, but it's too little too late. A nice attempt with those ultimates, but Mitch, that's the second time we've seen them in a low-buy round use both of those ults and not win the round.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, man. Like, you look at the round, you think great damage, a good chance to actually win it. You also think, what was that guy thinking? And you know, all of that added together sounds great. And then you realize they use a running back in a Hunter's Fury, and yeah, that's not a great round anymore. You don't get consolation points when you throw everything at it. You were getting that because it was a low buy, but a costly low buy in terms of what really matters. And for Mates, I understand why they want to get rounds on the board, stop them before they hit 7, but now there's a chance for FUT to push this much further. We come into a buy round, neck and neck, you'd think. Well, an operator for Mates might put them ahead, but the convergence path from Zeus is dangerous.
Is he going to use it? Oh, it might
Straight
be very
upside.
soon now. Is there any way for this to be dodged? Doesn't look like a good flash. Actually, Martine might survive this. In fact, his teammates have come in to save the day. His own counter utility kept him alive, and Mini has shot them both down as they look to enter the site. A solid hold from the defensive Mates. It seems like after the pauses, they've always been good for one, and well, for Cristali, player of the day, player of the month, player of the year, if he can pull this one off.
A fine death.
Okay, first is going to be his. There's great utility by Mini to keep Martine alive. The wall blocked him off for that little bit of extra time and giving him a chance to still be breathing late round. Not that he was needed. Mini started cleaning up all by himself, and he finishes off the round. 3 on the board for him and for Mates. 7-3. And look, they have fallen behind, that is for sure, but it's not too late to recover the half.
Yeah, it's whether or not it's another one and done. That has been the case throughout the match so far. Singular rounds, one here and there, and it's gone right back to the FUT show. And I heard on the desk that's something that Daft Mike really enjoys. By the way, weird, I thought that was you. Maybe you can go together.
Well, we came from the same place back in the CS days. What can I say? Real recognized, real Darf. Round 11 is a solid start for Mates. And look at the A main control they're keeping. Mini locking it down on the operator, and that's going to free them up to rotate a little heavier to the side of the map where FUT are putting a bit of attention towards. Full Cypher setup towards C. And a trap set and ready to be sprung if the B side is challenged. There's no real easy way in for FUT, regardless of where they go.
It's very static at this point from Mates. I think they've realized that they can't even really jiggle for information. And so Sop is probably a little bit perplexed as to how far he's managed to get. He's eventually going to meet Martine, and while Martine knows he's there.
It's the problem. You step in there, you think that you found a gap, and instead you're walking into space that they have left open for you. The molly spreads and takes Zeus down. The spam alongside it. And that Cam, not just watching Garage, but watching the long walk up too.
Standing ahead.
Even with Beepo going down, there's so little time. They won't be able to interrupt it. So a plant is at least going to be found. That was the first worry, but the numbers are the next. So favorable for Mates. It has to be Cristali with another life round. And it won't be found this time. Mates, 4 on the board. As we said, this half definitely still recoverable.
Yeah, and as I said at the very beginning, it feels like both of these teams have been more favored over on the attack side of this map. I think versus Nongshim we saw that when Nates played them, so I don't think they're going to be too worried. If they can get a 5th round on the board, I would almost say they might even be favored at that point. Of course, FUT are definitely not slouches on either side, but...
They were just full walking out B, bro. This guy just walked out alone.
That he did.
Yep, that is true.
But I think that it's a really nice setup for Mates. Like, the fact that the cam is watching Garage and Long, that you have 3 players ready to strike on B, and they're just sat back so passive, not even looking for fights. So FUT are looking for an opportunity to fill in some free space, and then you think, oh, I've caught an angle they're not looking at. But no, they're just looking at it from much, much further back. Waiting until you're too far in to fall back. FUT now much more direct. C-site under a lot of pressure. Prox and Beepo both here, though, to weather the storm, and it's Beepo delivering a double. He's made it at least an even trade, but the plant now undeniable.
Yeah, Hunter's Fury available as well for Crystalli is going to make things that little bit more difficult.
Spike planted.
Run it back for Martin on the other side. Actually, that Hunter's Fury going early.
Very early.
It's forced the ult out of Martin. It means he won't be able to use it on re-entry. It might be a worthwhile trade. Mini also trying to retake control with an operator is not the ideal gun. But both ults now out of the round.
Shut down by Sociable is solid, and Yedajay's reposition couldn't be better. Everybody with
in a very good position, and of course, for FUT, getting their first point of the board would be fantastic, and a man who I'm sure will want that is their coach, Vlad. We heard from him a little earlier on. Now, yes, pistol round is a necessity. But as I said, going into this attack side, if they can get that momentum rolling, it's definitely not a death sentence, but being on FUT's favorite map, a map they've been incredibly comfortable on. Let's have a little listen in to how the pistol goes.
Adamlar back cross'tu.
Careful here.
Önce cross koysanız biriniz bait atın.
Evet benim değil.
B'yi bırakmasın diğeri.
Aldım B'yi.
İyiyiz la şu an. Şu an iyiyiz.
Neon'a 50 vurdum. Bir daha body atarsam bayılacak.
Okeyiz ya. Kal böyle. Ekstra bir durum olmadığı sürece.
Leonard boş hala.
Cypher A'da.
Yürümedim, bekliyorum.
Yetu koşa koşa döneceğim.
Tek ama kanka.
Koşa koşa döneceğim. Sana bait
Baktım
yapıyorum.
görmüyorum.
2B'ye kalsanız Okan B'ye git. Ya da double door window'unda kalmaya devam et.
Orta kem attı çocuk. Var kemi var zaten.
Double window'da kaldım mid. Bir
A
kurtarmam.
koşuyor, A koşuyor. 2. En az 2. Diğeri sayda girmiş beyler. Neon koşuyor.
Evet bayağı koştular.
Bak hatta.
30 seconds left.
Beyler utilimiz yok. CT'ye git Doğan. CT'ye git. Okan ok atsın smoke bittiğinde. Sen cross'lu ol ama
Spike
smoke'un içine.
planted.
And it's a plant for Mates. FUT have to fight their way back in. Cage thrown behind from Yedajay, a bit of misdirection, but Martin's close enough to realize it. And Stun has caught Zeus, and it's a death sentence for him. And whilst they wait for Yedajay to group back up, the round seems to have slipped completely out of their grasp. As we said, a much-needed pistol round for Gentlemates. A loss here would put them in an almost unrecoverable position. The bare minimum achieved momentarily. If they lose this one, I would be... Oh my goodness! I start to get worried. The jump around there, one more shot could have turned the tide, but luckily it will not go the way of FUT. Mates have bought themselves a second chance. Jeez, there was a second where it looked like they could have won that.
Yeah, I think it wasn't quite the overhunting of orbs we saw back a week or so ago, but no, I think that ultimately getting the job done, a few orbs built up as well, of course, with it being Yettajay on the other side, you're not too worried about those ultimate orbs going into enemy hands, especially when you're trying to get them for Martin, who has been having an okay game so far, but obviously expectations on him are always
Revealing area.
to be, well, ludicrous if we're being totally honest. Starzo walking up with the spike makes me a little bit nervous, but he's not going to go any further, thankfully.
Yeah, it's back out of that A control. Avoiding the stack. I'm not sure whether they have a read or whether they just wanted to make some noise to cause the rotates. Either way, the stack
Guys, there's
has
no
been
one
avoided.
box.
Yeah,
There's no one box. There's no one in this corner, and there's no one in the wall.
There's no way. Oh, well,
no
the
one on the
cage.
floor.
It's giving them a good gap to play in. Okay.
Oh, unlucky.
They checked it eventually.
Don't worry, there's no one inside that box. Well, see, I saw this before, and Beeper had a rifle, so now he doesn't have a rifle. He only had a Marshall, so not so bad. Although he has given that Marshall to Sop, who's quite good with the Marshall.
It's been tagged, though. They know he's coming. Pre-fire should be waiting, and it will be. Great stuff by Starzo. Double swing as well, just to lock it in.
Go, go.
You don't want to see too many more players go down. Martin is low HP, but you wouldn't mind him hunting just to get closer to that ultimate. So it looks like Prox is going to be point of contact. Martin still gets away with the kill, so 2 away from a run it back, and mates seem to have a way back into this series.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. They only lose the Marshall, which of the weapons is the cheapest. You can potentially even reinvest if they wanted to. Maybe try and get something additional for Martin, who's now only 2 away from having his ultimate online. But this is where things should get that little bit tougher. Rifles across the board
Enemy remaining.
for the side of FUT. Oh my, if the road to recovery truly is there for the mates, they can at least make this round costly. That would be a pretty big deal.
I mean, for mates, adding cost, sure, yeah, it's going to be a goal, but there's always an opportunity to take it across the line. No real weapons in their hands definitely makes it more difficult, but they're going for the group approach. It'll be Sociable that has to stand and greet the pack, the first taken down, but the tip of the spear is still sharp as ever. Mini wrapping around will be caught. Sociable, he could have fallen back, he could have retreated, but he stands his ground for 3. And now, making this a costly round should be hard! Martin makes it look easy! Zeus has 7 health, and he'll have to kill Martin twice. He won't even get a chance to shoot at the king. Never mind to miss. Mates, up to 7. That is an insane round.
Honestly, gobsmacked. Like, this was insane enough. Shooting the dart and then going, right, I'm just going to fight them all. Because they run through this choke. Martin just decimates them. And yeah, you know what? Fair enough. Stand up, flex a little. Because he's now moved within just 1 of Mini, who's at the top of the board. And he's just put them right back in contention in this map.
Standing ahead.
Well, you always know Martin can have one of his rounds, but it's something special to see him happen. That's him back positive on the scoreboard, and mates almost back even. Pistols in the hands of FUT. So far, mates have done a pretty good job of avoiding those pistol stacks. FUT always running the group setup. And this time, Mini might be unlucky enough to walk into a few. I mean, he's got a one-shot capable weapon up against every single one of these players. But he hasn't got a lot of ammo. And he'll get no shots fired. An outlaw into the hands of Sop, and, well, that could be a mistake that you end up regretting.
Yeah, even still. Going into the post plant. The time now helping mates along the way, and they're playing so passively that it now comes down to FUT fighting into the chokes. Molly will buy them some additional time, but over the top is Sociable again. Always seems to be good for at least 1. Trade out onto Sop is something, and the disappearing act, but it's Martin going through, and he still finds a double. They look to make this uncomfortable, but They are more than comfortable fighting FUT with their own aggressive style. Mates, 8-8 from a hefty deficit. They are right back level again.
It's a dangerous thing to see Martin start to feel confident, uses that paranoia to get up close in the smoke. Look at his health. Pops a flash through the blinds, or two, in fact. Didn't even realize that it had caught onto Sociable up top. That makes a bit more sense why he survived so long. A well-placed piece of utility, good target selection.
This second map was a little bit more dominant, but they lose the first. It takes them a while to get going. I don't know, maybe they need to play an additional prac directly before their first map so they can come in hot at the beginning of the day. But once they start building into a game, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Ooh, good damage right off rip. Taking the control of Long out of the hands of FUT, looking instead to challenge on short, thinking it would be lighter, less heavily defended, but instead they've met the spams, steel and shocks coming their way. The mates are slowed on the approach. Nice shot from Martin, but that's done. It's boxed him in the corner. He's been seen. Zeus didn't realize, and Martin somehow gets away with the kill. And now the flash is perfect! Another big round from Martin! One after another. And with Yedege, the last man standing, Martin doesn't need a kill for orbs or for economy, but he needs it for the ace to take the lead for Gentlemates from miles behind to taking the lead, and it's all thanks to this man.
Absolute insanity. He's already got more kills in these first 5 rounds of the second half than he did in the whole of the first half. It's just been dominating ever since he managed that clutch. And this was basically just an execution of him alone. Zeus was given an opportunity to kill him. Just should have maybe seen him on the corner of that box. And as said, maybe that pause was taken to try and slow this man down. They have not slowed him down. And while 2 assists off the back of his flash, he's not getting the kills this time. But his utility has been just as good.
A flash and a double spam, one with an Odin. That's nasty. Oh, hold on, Yedege! No! It's a big whiff! A swing and a miss for Yedege. Crystalli only gets the one. And that's all the damage done in this round. A solid connection from mates again. And this streak is utterly ridiculous now. We're talking about 8 of the last 9 rounds have gone to Gentlemates. They were looking down and out of this series.
7-2. They were 7-2 down. They've won 6 in a row. I said in the first half that my expectations would be that both teams would do better on the attack, but I didn't quite expect it to be in this manner. I didn't expect to see this level of dominance from Martin. We know the level he brings. It breaks records. But to do this against such an individually sound squad like FUT is looking like a different beast. A deep position. Another start for Crystalli. And Sop having to get out of there because of the run it back, which of course is coming online basically every 2 rounds at this point. They do have a rat in the back line.
I know exactly.
They're just going to fight into the spawn. That was Sop with an operator.
That's disgusting. The confidence on Mini to play the Odin like that. I've seen it before on a Neon, but considering this game was over not long ago, to have them look this confident now. The winds have changed, have taken effect here. TP as you like. You might have ran out of ammo, but still a shorty to work with. Zeus does make it out alive. Hey, it's a silver lining on a very gray cloud. Mates up to 11. This was seeming to be a lost series for mates, and now they are running around. He's going to kill him as well.
There's no way the one bit of wall he didn't spam is the one place that Zeus was hiding.
Well, FUT have to get lucky eventually. It's only at the end of the round, it seems.
Yeah, 7 in a row. I just look at the way they're playing. This is just disrespect at this point. They just fight completely into the spawn. And sometimes you do that, you're like, okay, maybe there's 3 guys on flank. We know the trip got broken. We'll do this aggressive now. They did that just to try and shut. It seems like their stars have gone silent, whereas the stars on mates are shining brighter than ever. So bright that half the time the FUT players can't see. That might be the case again. Already fighting forward, but there you go. Sop, you got blades. How about killing them all? Maybe that's what the coach has said. It's a strategy that works probably more often than you think it would. And with a little bit of a help from his friend Zeus. I was going to say a ninth round looks guaranteed, but Martin's alive, so who knows?
Yeah, you really can't count them out on this form.
Can't count him out.
Exactly.
The others have been good. He's been a god.
Cristalli, the first one to meet the challenge, and, well, it is time to flee. 2 to fill in the gap, though. It's not just Zeus there. He's got Sociable by his side, by his back, and, well, both go to him. 9 rounds on the board now for FUT. What was a massive lead. Saw them go silent, but, well, all it took was a big round from Sop.
Yeah, all it took was 2 instant kills from a Blade Storm, which he doesn't have anymore.
Not for a while, yeah.
But I also think there is an element, almost just a mental element, of you break that streak and you can reset. You can go, okay, we can win rounds. We're not cursed. It's not bad luck or whatever other things that you believe in. We can break their momentum. Well, let's see if they can now turn that into something a little bit more. If at first you don't succeed, try again! And while Sop delivers again! From getting decimated to destroying their opponents and in zone flawless. Maybe stop going C-long now. I don't think this is the case of 3rd time's the charm.
Well, you know, I'm going to go ahead and say they tried their best to stop that from happening. The wall up, even the cage, that cage is Yedijay's. And, well, it was the walls of a barrel.
Did they see anyone?
Nope. Nope. It was all 5 kills from spamming down long. The walls of a barrel and the fish within it.
Back in a flat. Nice and slow.
Turn to smithereens. It's an immediate retreat from mates. Look at that pressure out of FUT. 4 players towards A main, but immediately mates just go, okay, there's a lot of you there. We'll go somewhere else where there's not a lot of you.
One is in. Oh, it's gone again! It's just spamming! And then people walking into the spray. Yedijay's got another double. Proc's almost gone. Out of absolutely nothing, they lose 7 rounds in a row, and then they spring to life! Sob looking like a different beast. And what Yedijay has taken some of that and added it to his repertoire. Where did this come from? 3 rounds in, well, literally probably about 30 seconds or less.
This game has changed massively. This spray from Yedijay is crazy. Mini going in to try trade out Martin, and those are the 2 main guys you want to take down. So the second he gets that, it seems that he done already. That last jump made me chuckle from Sociable. The fact that he just jumps around the corner, up onto the box, full confidence, knowing his teammate was going to trade him out from the doors. 11 to 11. I have no idea what to expect from this one except a pacey take from both sides.
Well, I don't know what the coach has said. It must have been a speech on the level of having a dream or fighting them on the beaches or something along those lines. But whatever it was, new life has been brought to the side of FUT. Rejuvenated, revitalized. No more Mini. No more Odin. And not much health.
Oh, nice
risky.
shutdown. Low HP doesn't quite matter if the opponent doesn't shoot back. For mates, 2-man advantage. Run it back online, and Sop goes through the fire to take down Mini. A shot through the smoke, but Martin, he's seeking vengeance. Blood for blood as he runs forward. The run it back will get him close, and he'll grab a kill for his trouble.
Great work from Martin. It seems like 12 is guaranteed for mates. A flash again. His flashes have been so perfect throughout this game, and for Zeus, an incredibly rough second half that looks like it's going to go all the way in regulation. 12-11. Mates have been dominant in this half, but for 3 rounds. And now we get to see if FUT are taking us to overtime, letting their lead from the first half slip, or if their opponents are going to take the map in regulation.
Well, 4 rounds ago, this was tight enough scoreline, but it felt like all hope was lost. FUT have given themselves an opportunity. SOP has given FUT an opportunity to fight for overtime with a couple of big rounds, but more is needed here. The defense early on looked to challenge towards A. It'll be Zeus tucked in the corner, support from Cristalli. As the rest of the team pushes up on C long, a lot of space taken. They'll see the trip and decide whether or not they want to break it, but there'll be no further aggression from FUT. Instead, over on this A site, just waiting for players to step in, and they didn't check it, yet still! The kill is not found by Zeus. Cristalli at least trades out, but that should have been a clean advantage for FUT.
I don't know if it's like if it's Zeus's mouse running out of battery or something, but like in this second half, he has been pretty poor. Cristalli needs to at least get something from this, and yeah, he's just stuck in no man's land. There's no one alongside him. At least the TP available. That's going to get Sociable pass, but it's being watched by Beepo. Well aware of the potential of this risk. Puts them in to an advantageous position. How has Yetije managed to just walk out and find a kill? It's only going to be the one, but there's Stop finding another. Blade Storm on 9. That's where he's been at his best, pushing them out of the site. In fact, pushing them forward. What is that from Sop? Again with the Blade Storm, he is untouchable. And guess what? We're heading to overtime after all.
I'm glad I decided to sit down for a bit. I think I would have fallen over after a play like that. What an unbelievable performance from Sop in this last quarter, man. He was having an okay game, and then he stepped up to another level. His 2K, 3K on C-Long was something, but this was something else. Overtime, locked in, and there is still a chance for FUT to close this out 2-0.
This has been such a weird game. Like, we have gone from looking like FUT were going to close this out with ease, the Zeus diving into sites and executing people, to Sop having a great start and a great end, to Martin utterly dominating for a period. It is a peculiar map, but only one can be the winner. Either we head to Lotus, a best of one where everything's even, or FUT close this now and Martin is just walking up at this time. Maybe a little bit too overzealous. He thought he had a gap, and instead, well, he's left a gap.
He has been the playmaker for this team. Stepping into overtime, you never want to see teams or players lean away from their advantages. And here the upper hand for him has been making those moments. This time, it's a disadvantage claimed by mates early on. And FUT are certainly not showing like they're under any pressure. The drone from super far back, it's not going to get anything. I don't know the idea of that drone, if it was just to sell that they're not as close as they are, but Sociable still has danger around that corner. The operator waiting for him to swing on in. And it looks like he's moments away from making the mistake. Now numbers back to even. Mini makes it out as well. They send Zeus to try to put the pressure on to take this operator down, but it is still lurking around. Not for long, but that trade out from Starzo, that headshot hit onto Sop, it's removed a big player, and with Zeus low HP, there is still a chance for Beepo and Prox.
Yetije is not going to miss that shot, though. And now back to the rifle. Beepo's not been having the best of games, but the biggest moments coming in overtime. Everything else is forgotten. Getting through this crossfire choke, it's impossible, though. From FUT, looking like they were winning to looking like they were losing. They're now 1 round away from 2-0ing this series. I said that Bambino won't be losing any hair over this series, and I think I am now wrong, which I'm happy to admit. He's welcome to join me on the board side. But the fact is, a win is a win. If they can close this out, Ah, you know, dogs from Turkey, they'll be able to sort it.
Nice.
Well, I do wonder, Tom, are you ever going to make the trip?
No.
Oh,
It looks very painful and I'm good.
I'll put you to sleep for it or something.
No, I mean, have you seen the recovery?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it
yeah.
looks
It's like
horrific.
6 months as well. Three
No.
months, I think.
I like going
Screw that.
outside.
Line drawn.
Wow, I could live without it, but the pain's enough. Mates, one round here, one slip up, and all their efforts on Haven and on Sunset are forgotten. History will only remember that they went out of this series winless. For FUT, the C site's been taken, a retake setup already called by the defensive side. And one snake in the grass of Beepo is the one to avoid.
Normally, we haven't seen these full retakes from FUT. They like to battle early, and here goes Zeus. It's a great dive in again. He gives space, but Beepo's on that flank. He has been spotted, and Sop has cleared out his teammates, just like the last round. Beepo is a necessary hero, and he has to go now. They are defusing. There is no time left. FUT will close out their map choice just about, and a fiery matchup ends.